a look at any questions for me? Let's start with 62. Yes. I couldn't hear you. To talk about that one? Okay. So this one says in between. So this is already taken. Now, if I choose a number here, the distance from 0 is more than 3 units. The distance is more than 3 units. If I choose a number here, the distance is more than 3 units. So that's where the solution lies for that one. Outside.
When you say more than older, when you say more than, I'm looking at like greater than sign. Greater than sign, the right, correct?
Greater than or equal to 3.
Yeah.
Yes.
I want you to say to the left is less than right, correct?
To the left of, hold on.
Left of 0.
Left of 0 is this one with the less than 3 units. I can't. Numbers here belong to that inequality. I can't take the less than 0. If I take less than 0, I include something that is not correct. For example, 2. The absolute value of 2 is not greater than or equal to 3.
Well, in that case, it's minus 3 not inclusive of
You're talking about this one?
Mhm.
-5. -5 in absolute value is 5, which is greater than or equal to 3. -10. The absolute value of -10 is 10, which is greater than or equal to 3. But if you want -1, no. -1 in absolute value is 1, which is not greater than or equal to 3. That's what I'm saying. Less than or equal to 3 is this. Greater than or equal to 3 is this.
Are you saying minus 3 is greater than or equal to 3?
Say it again.
Are you saying minus 3 is greater than or equal to 3? That way.
This one? Yes, that's correct. -3 is greater than or equal to, or less than or equal to -3. That's true. It's or. -3 is less than or equal to -3. That's true. Yeah. As long as one of them is correct, it's true. Right? -3 is less than or equal to -3. If I don't have the equal symbol, then I would have a parenthesis here and a parenthesis here, and you cannot plug in -3. Does it make sense? Yes? Okay, let's look at some examples. Yeah, and you'll see. So the first one, let's pick 64. And this is 3x plus 5 in absolute value, less than 17. First thing I have to ask myself is this completely cleaned up? Yes, it's completely cleaned up. We cannot touch anything. Second question I ask myself is it type 1 or type 2? Is it the one in between, or is it the one outside? Type 1. Oh, awesome. So then what do I have to write? Because remember, I can't touch this. This has to be replaced by?
-17.
Awesome.
Is less than
Awesome.
3x plus 5.
Very good.
Less than 17.
That's it. That's all I need to do. And now I learned a few minutes ago how to deal with a compound inequality and then take it from there and give me the answer.
-5.
Correct. We have to subtract 5 from all 3 sides.
-22.
Good.
Is less than 3x is less than 12.
Awesome. And then final step.
Divide by 3.
Very good. So no difficulty whatsoever, but please dictate the interval notation and I will write it.
X interval
Very good.
-22 over 3, comma 4.
Good. Now I only have to establish if I use parentheses, brackets, parenthesis and bracket, what do I use? Of course. Of course. Of course. Very good. Well done. Okay, let's look at any questions for me, please. So I highly recommend, in order not to fall behind, if you have time, please come in early, please, so I can help you. Okay, let's say problem 78. 3 minus 3/4 x in absolute value greater than 9. Yes.
For that, because you know that x is in between negative 22/3 and in between 4, why didn't you put the solid brackets?
Because there is no equal symbol. The equal symbol is the bracket.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Sure. So now, we have it, yes, go ahead. So the reason why I put x in here is because otherwise if I give you the answer, negative 22/3 minus comma 4, you may say that this is x and this is y. Which is not the case, it's not an ordered pair. It's a solution, it's an interval solution to an inequality. That's why I recommend writing that in front. Okay, so now I have this inequality and I'm asking myself the first question is, which is, can I clean it up? No. No one can touch the absolute value. Good. The next question is it type 1 or is it type 2?
2.
Indeed. So the difficult one. So remember one more time, it's not the one in between. It's the one that is outside, completely separate. You cannot solve them in one row. They are completely separate. So please give me the answer. Yes, hold on just one second. Yes?
No, I got a question.
Yes, yes.
So, would I be right to say, automatically, if they give you a question with less than sign?
Yes, if the absolute value, very good question. If the absolute value is on this side, because if the absolute value is on this side, it's a different story. So be careful with that. So if the absolute value is on the left hand side and I have less than or equal to, is the in between. Yes. If the absolute value is on this side and I have greater than or equal to, is the two separate inequalities. Correct. But always keep in mind the absolute value must be on the left. Because some of the problems want to trick you. And they put 9 greater than blah, blah, blah. So you have to rearrange it like this in order to identify it correctly. Clear? Perfect. So now, can anyone give us the first inequality? Yes, please, please. It's the inequality symbol. It's less than or equal to. If it's less than or equal to or greater than.
So I'm going to go out on a limb on this one.
I'm sure it's not going to be correct. It's going to be correct, yes.
I'm going to go with 3 minus 3 x, and then it's going to be greater than, yeah, it's greater than 9. And then the bottom one's going to be opposite. Except, that's way easier than I was going to say.
Good. So now, next step. I'm going to take this aside after I subtract 3 from both sides. Negative 3/4 x greater than 6. Oh, x, sorry. Negative 3/4 x greater than 6. I subtracted 3 from both sides. What do I do next?
Multiply by 4.
You can. It's fine. You can do it in 2 steps. I would like to do it in 1 step. I want to eliminate this. I will multiply both sides by? Yes, but also negative. Very good. Multiplicative inverse or the reciprocal of negative 3/4 in order to get the 1. So the left-hand side is? Awesome. What happens to the inequality symbol?
Flip.
Very good, because we multiply by negative numbers. So now let's take this aside. 6/1 times 4/3, and I will simplify by 3. What do I get on the right-hand side? But minus. Good. So this is done.
I got the same thing. Okay.
The second one, 3 minus 3/4 x less than negative 9. I subtract 3 first. Negative 3/4 x less than negative 12. Like before, I'm multiplying by negative 4/3. Tell me what we get on the left. Very good. What do I do with the inequality symbol?
Flip it.
Very good. And now let's take this aside. 12 over 1 times 4 over 3. I simplify by 3. 16 and positive 16. Good. So this is one solution, this is the other. Please give me the union. This inequality must have in the solution the union.
X,
Yes?
inequality,
Union.
or,
From negative infinity to negative 8
oh, right.
with a parenthesis. Union.
And the next one's gonna be,
Yes?
16, positive,
Good. What symbols do I use?
parentheses,
Very good. Infinities are always parentheses because they are not numbers, they are symbols.
I cannot draw an infinity symbol.
Any questions? Yes? Yes?
This one.
Any questions? Please.
So when we multiply each side by a negative, that also like flips the signs.
Yes. Every time we multiply both sides of an inequality by a negative number, every time we multiply both sides or divide both sides by a negative number, we have to switch the symbol.
So it wouldn't even. Actually, never mind. Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Other questions for me? Anyone? Anyone? Yes?
Wait, so we multiply both. So
Anything else? Anything else?
Maybe one more.
Which type? Type
two.
1 or type 2? Type 2. Very good. No problem. Sure. Let's look at 74. The absolute value of 5x minus 2 greater than 13. Very good. Good pick.
Very good.
That's 79 or so.
It's 74. Sorry. 74. Okay, first of all, can I clean this up? Can I simplify it in any way? No, there is no one can touch the absolute value. Good. Next question is it type 1 or type 2? Is it the easy one that I can write in a chain, or the one that I have to separate?
Separate.
Separate. So let's separate. First inequality is
Minus 2 less than.
Greater than.
Yeah, greater than. Minus 2 less than.
Minus 13.
if you use 13 for both, then you're including the middle part and you can't. So this is greater than 13. And if you take the other one as less than 13, you're including the middle part, and that's not allowed. So of course I'm going to add 2 to both sides. So this is 5x greater than 15, and then divide by 5. And here I have 5x less than negative 11, and x is less than negative 11/5. And now I have to write a solution. Since it's type 2, the solution must have the union in between. The union means or. In other words, solutions are here or here. You find them here or here.
When did the sign flip? On that,
On this one? Here?
yeah.
Okay. It didn't flip. So in between negative 13 and 13, or the other one is to the right of 13 or to the left of negative 13. To the left of negative 13 means 5x minus 2 is less than negative 13.
Oh, shucks.
That's okay. That's why we're here.
Well, I'm right.
So x in the interval. Can anyone give us? Yes.
negative infinity, negative 11 over 5, parentheses, union, maybe 3, to the positive infinity, parentheses.
Very good.
Parentheses.
Awesome. Very good. So this is pretty much the end of the review from the previous class and classes. Chapter 2.
Oh, okay. That,
Any questions?
can we like take 30 seconds?
Yes.
Okay, to
Say it again. Union means or. It means that the solutions are found here or here. That is the intersection. So this is the intersection, which means the solutions are found here and here. It's just much stronger. It's a much stronger relationship. The or is, okay, here or here, fine. But this one says solutions must exist at the same time from both sets. You mean this? So the intersection is a very good question. Here's where the intersection is coming into play. Very good question. So here it is, which we do not do because it's much easier not to do the intersection. So this one says that 4x minus 3 is greater than or equal to 3 and less than 19. So that is, if we don't do that, it's correct, but don't do it. You could solve this inequality and then solve this inequality and then intersect the solutions. It's way more difficult than just writing it and solving both inequalities at the same time. But that's when the intersection will come into play. So I will find a solution for this, whatever it is. I will find a solution for this, whatever it is, and then I will intersect them. Yeah. But I don't recommend it. It's way more work. Way more work. Any questions here? Any questions? I know I have only 5 minutes, but I'd like to start. So chapter 2 deals with functions and graphs. A lot from these 5 sections for test 1, a lot was already covered in the previous classes. 2 sections, I'm not going to say much. I'm just going to work on some problems with you, which are 2.3 and 2.4. 2.5 is kind of new. 2.1 and 2.2, just a little bit of it is new. A little bit of these 2 sections is new topic. It consists of new topics. Okay, functions and graphs. So in 2.1, we are just looking at what a function is and how to read from a graph and how to find the domain, how to find the range, just a review of functions. So I'm going to call it review of functions. And I'm going to start with 3 sets of pairs of bubbles, I call them. Here's one pair, here is a second pair, and here's the third pair of bubbles. It's Venn diagrams, more or less, but you know what I mean. Okay, so I'm going to pick 3 numbers in the first set. Let's say 1, 10, and negative 3. And I'm going to pick 3 numbers, 4, 5, and negative 11. And I'm going to copy them in all the other 2. So 1, 10, negative 3, 4, 5, negative 11, 1, 10, negative 3, 4, 5, negative 11. So let's look at the first pair. Okay, this consists of, this is a set for x, for the input. What do you think the second set is? For the output. Very good. So this is for the output. Indeed, this will be the range. What will be the first one then?
Domain.
Very good. You're way ahead of me. Very good. So domain and range. Very good. So x is picked from here and y is picked from here. So the first question is, I'm creating a connection, a link. Here's the link. 1 goes to 5, 10 goes to negative 11, and negative 3 goes to 5. The question is this a function? And let me refresh your memory what a function is. For each x value, I will find only one y value. For each x value, there is only one corresponding y value. For each x value, there is only one corresponding y value. Is the first set of bubbles, does it represent a function?
Yes.
Yes. So this is a function. The notation for the function is f of x, or p of x, or t of lowercase t, you can go on forever. So f of x. So this is how we read it, and it's the same thing with y values. And you can say, and a student asked me today, really, why do I need y and f of x? For many reasons, and here's one reason. It's easier for us to ask you, for example, evaluate, instead of asking you evaluate function f of x when x is 2, I'm just saying find f of 2. Sometimes it's easier to use y variable instead of f of x. So we do use both of them. Okay, let's move on to the second setup. So now I'm going to do this. I'm creating the link, and I decided to say that 1, the x value 1 corresponds only to 4. The x value 10 corresponds only to 4. The x value -3 corresponds only to 5. Is this a function?
No. It shares the same.
Okay, so let's do this again. Each
Oh.
x corresponds to only one y. Each x corresponds to only one y. Each x corresponds to only one y. Is this a function? It is a function. Let's look at the third situation, in which I will connect them like this time. Is this connection, link, correspondence, is this a function? This is not, because 1 corresponds to 4, that's good. 10 corresponds to 4, that's good. But -3 corresponds to 5, and -3 corresponds to -11. So this is a relation. It exists, but it's not a function. Any questions?